The vast, endless blue was no longer a place of peace. A profound tension had settled over the reef, a silence so heavy it felt like a physical weight. Deep below the sun-dappled surface, a great white shark carved circles in the water, a sleek grey torpedo of pure instinct. Its eyes, two black, unblinking beads, were locked onto a creature that dwarfed it in size, but not in its current focus, a humpback whale. The whale, a living mountain of flesh and barnacles, drifted with a serene, almost lazy grace. Its movements were slow, deliberate, as if it was simply trying to ignore the persistent shadow that stalked it. It was a gentle giant, a filter feeder that posed no threat, yet its sheer presence was an irresistible challenge to the apex predator. But the shark was not in a mood to be ignored. Patience was a luxury its hunger couldn't afford. In a sudden burst of speed, it shot forward, a silver streak against the deep blue canvas. It didn't make a full-blown attack, not yet. Instead, it snapped its jaws just shy of the whale's massive flank, a sharp, metallic click echoing through the water. It was a test, a provocation, a question asked with rows of serrated teeth. The whale, seemingly unbothered, responded not with aggression, but with a display of immense power. With a single fluid motion, it flicked its colossal tail. The movement displaced tons of water, sending powerful waves radiating outwards, a silent, potent warning that rippled across the sea. For a brief, hopeful moment, a hush fell over the ocean. The smaller fish, the colorful inhabitants of the coral city below, peeked out from their hiding places. They had scattered at the first sign of trouble, but now, with the shark seemingly rebuffed, they cautiously emerged, perhaps believing the danger had passed. The silence was deceptive. However, down in the darker depths, where the light struggled to reach, the shark's hunger was not abating. It was intensifying, sharpening into a razor's edge of predatory resolve. It had tasted the whale's power, and instead of being deterred, it was further incited. The brief pause had only served to stoke the furnace of its killer instinct. Then, with the suddenness of a lightning strike, the shark attacked again. This time, there was no hesitation, no testing of the waters. It launched itself forward, its mouth agape, aiming for the whale's vulnerable underbelly. But the whale was ready. Instead of a physical counter, it unleashed something far more profound. A sound erupted from its massive body, a deep, resonant call that was more felt than heard. It was a thunderous moan that vibrated through the very fabric of the ocean, a sound so powerful it seemed to shake the foundations of the seafloor. It echoed for miles, a sonic boom of distress and authority. The shark, caught in the blast of this incredible sound wave, froze mid-attack. Its streamlined body, built for speed and aggression, went rigid. This wasn't just a roar of defiance. It was a signal, a summons. And the ocean answered from the far-off hazy distance. A reply came, another deep, booming call, harmonizing with the first, and then, out of the blue haze, two more enormous shapes began to materialize. They were colossal, even larger than the first whale, their forms gliding through the water with an unstoppable, majestic momentum. More whales were coming. The cavalry had arrived. The shark's predatory confidence, so absolute just moments before, began to visibly crumble. The hunter was now facing the prospect of becoming the hunted. It began to swim back and forth, its movements no longer the patient circles of a stalker, but the frantic, erratic dashes of a cornered animal. Fight or flee. The instinct that had driven it to attack was now screaming at it to survive. The water itself seemed to grow darker, heavier, as the three giants converged, their immense shadows blotting out the sun. They formed a slow-moving, impenetrable wall of blubber and muscle. The question hung in the water, thick and suffocating. Would the shark, a creature that feared nothing, dare to challenge this unified family of titans? Or would its survival instinct finally override its aggression, forcing it to retreat into the lonely darkness from which it came? The entire marine ecosystem seemed to hold its breath. The fish, the turtles, the crabs in the sandal were silent witnesses to this epic standoff. The answer was just moments away, waiting to be written in the silent, unforgiving language of the deep sea. Thank you so much for watching this incredible moment unfold with us. If you love stories from the deep blue, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an adventure. We'll see you in the next video.